I'm Edward Moorfield, the publisher of Citybiz, and I'm honored today to introduce Tammy Thomas from TechCo, who will be interviewing Sue Carr, the founder and president of CarrTech.
With us today is Sue Carr, president and founder of CarrTech, a Frederick, Maryland-based medical device company. Sue, I'm so pleased to virtually be with you today.
It's a pleasure to be here with you too, Tammy.
I'm excited for people to hear about your journey. So why don't we jump right in and have you tell us a little about CarrTech and what inspired the idea behind it?
Sure. Well, really, I founded CarrTech to help my healthcare professionals and also the patient. I saw a problem throughout my career. I'm a pharmacist by trade, a clinical pharmacist, which we go on the different floors and we check their medications. And I first noticed this problem while I was attending pharmacy school and working at a local hospital. And the problem is medications are still packaged in glass ampules. This is a glass ampule if you don't know what one is. And the problem is to access a medication, you have to snap the neck. And 100% of the time when you do that, glass shards will enter into that ampule and contaminate the medication. Therefore, it needs to be filtered before it can be administered to the patient, which involves multiple needles and multiple steps and an increased risk for glass shards to get into the patient and needle stick injuries for the healthcare professional. So it haunted me throughout my career. And then one day I said, I needed to change it. And I was thinking of a simple solution. So I came up with what we call the frog, which is a filter removal of glass. And it's a simple all-in-one package, one needle filter that saves time, lives, and money.
That's fabulous. So Sue, tell us how CarrTech is impacting the biotech industry.
Well, so I said we developed Frog, and it's the only all-in-one package, one needle filter system around. And basically what I did was, and I'll show you an example, I relocated the filter from the tip, the lure lock end where it screws onto the syringe, to the tip of the needle. So all you need to do is drop your medication and remove the outer filter, and you're ready to inject. All in one process, all in one step. So there's no recapping. So you're not going to get needle stick injuries, and it ensures that it's going to be performed properly. We rented a hotel room back in the day, a couple of years ago before COVID, and invited all of our healthcare professionals. One of our secret sauces is we know a lot of people in healthcare. So we gave them food and drinks, and they came in, non-alcoholic. They came in and they tried the current system, which involves 2 needles and multiple steps. And they tried the frog, and we timed it. It took about a third to a half the time. And overwhelmingly, they prefer the frog over the current filter needle process. So that's how we kind of started, and we intend to disrupt and penetrate the filter needle industry and ensure that the filtering is done properly with our all-in-one product. And we think this is going to be the norm within the next 5 years.
Okay, that's fabulous. For our listeners, can you tell us a little bit more too about some of your key milestones for CarrTech since it's launching? Because I remember hearing your pitch a few years ago when you were at Connect, Nora, and you just blew me away. So for those that are other founders that are a startup, it would be great for them to hear a little bit more about your journey, about the milestones, especially since you're coming through this during the pandemic.
It's good and bad, really. I had no idea what I was doing, and I don't think anybody does. I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur until maybe a couple of years ago. I bootstrapped my way through my first 2 patents and a prototype. I now have 3 patents in the US and 1 in Canada, and we're going to be submitting more patents soon. Then I won my first pitch competition in Frederick Commerce. And I mean, it wasn't much money, but for me, it was like really exciting. I pitched at Connect Entrepreneur and a small that where you saw me in Columbia, and then a small private event at Fitzy that later afternoon. I have no idea what I did. I think I sucked at both of them.
But, you did not, Sue. Oh my God. So for all those that are listening to this, she is so humble. Sue rocked it. She was phenomenal at the Connectpreneur one. I wasn't able to make the one at Fitzy, and that's in Frederick too, but she rocked the house. It was awesome. But go ahead, Sue. I'm sorry. Just need to make sure that people understand how wonderful you are.
I don't see that, but I had a lot of tutoring before that. But then COVID hit, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? But because of COVID, I was able to watch my son graduate summa cum laude 4.0 from college and pitch at Salisbury Shore Hatchery an hour later. So within 2 hours, I was $10,000 richer. Well, CarrTech was. I lost a lot of money in flight reservations, but who cares, right?
Right.
Then we met with the then Builder Fund came on, and I guess that was from that Connect Entrepreneur pitch. I was able to secure a CFO, a CEO, a private banker, and my lead investor from that tiny little pitch at Fitzy. So who knew? You know, we met with the FDA with the pre-sub. And then we brought Galero on, their medical device design company down in the Research Triangle area. So they're helping us prepare for FDA. We secured licensing partners like the big needle guys, which I can't really talk about, but that was awesome. Then I won like a bunch of awards, and I don't know why, but the Maryland Tech Council Emerging Life Science Company of the Year. I pitched at the BioHealth Capital Region. They allow 5 people to pitch. Then I won DC Live Red Hot Entrepreneur of the Year. And then we both won that Power Ranger, the Power Woman of Tech. We received funds from TechCo Rubric Fund, the seed funding, a lead investor, and incorporated just recently, which I'm still it's an intense process, but we're getting through it. And now we're about a year and a half into preparations for FDA approval. We anticipate submission early this summer. So we'll be on the market selling hopefully by the end of the year.
That is fabulous. And you're homegrown. You're right here from Maryland. So folks, when you're looking to do a startup, especially a medical device, Maryland is the place for you. Now, Sue, you mentioned a couple TechCo programs that you utilize to help get you to where you are today. You mentioned TechCo's Builder Fund and our Rubric program. Can you talk a little bit more about either those programs or other resources that you tapped into from TechCo to help you grow your business?
Sure. You know, I tell people the worst and the best day of my life was the day I went into TechCo for a prelude pitch. I had sheets I was reading, and my girlfriend was hitting the prompter to, move the slides. And it was absolutely the worst pitch imaginable. But it made me realize that I needed tutoring and I needed help. Soon after that, I started attending the TechCo workshops, and I met this guy, Ira, the storyteller, who I hired to teach me how to pitch and how to speak. I still suck at it, but I'm getting better, right?
It's phenomenal. Yes,
I know. And then after COVID hit and the Builder Fund came in, and they invested through the Builder Fund, but it wasn't just the money, it was also the advisors they provided, experienced, awesome advisors that helped me negotiate like strategic contracts, and are still, I've hired them on because they're so awesome. They provided resources and one-on-one advisors to teach me leadership skills and to understand my personality, which I know I'm hyper everything. So I need to just slow down and breathe before I respond. And I'm still close to my Builder Fund cohorts. We still talk. We meet once a month, and sometimes, like James, I saw you did an interview with James, and I shot him an email last week saying, "Hey, help me out here."
Right, James is with IPGen. He's with the patent company. Yes.
Yeah, we're good. I mean, I'm good friends with all of them, and taught me it's such a positive environment. Then I attended the NSF-SBIR proposal lab with Kim Mazungo. The Rubric Fund was they were helped us when we were growing and needing more money to prepare for FDA. And now seed funding, we received an investment through seed funding, and mostly, I mean, everyone at TechCo has been so supportive and so nice. And they saw my potential. They believe in me, and really, most importantly, they believe in CarrTech and their CarrTech, and they're lifting me up. So I would not be here today without the help of TechCo.
Well, that's what we're here for, Sue. Can you tell us, before you go, a little bit more about your vision for the future of CarrTech? You touched on when you're planning to have the product to market. Can you talk a little bit more about some other milestones that you see in the future?
Sure. Well, we're going to have our first submission early this summer, but we have different size needles, different size filters. We're going to add on a safety feature. So we have multiple submissions we're going to go through with the FDA in the next few years. And we're going to quickly expand to Europe. We're actually doing some studies, which I can't talk about, but they're all really, really good. And we intend to make a global impact, especially in the underrepresented countries. We're going to make sure that that's going to be our number one charity, is to make sure we have a frog in each and every country that needs it, especially the ones that need it the most. And we want every frog in every medic bag in the DoD and in the world. So we're in the thick of it right now, but it's all really good. I'm like, I have to pinch myself sometimes because I can't believe I've gotten this far. And I just see after meetings I've had this week, it's all really, really positive. And in the end, I win.
Yeah. And the best is yet to come, Sue. The best is yet to come. Now, I have one last question for you. You've been so busy. You're so phenomenal on the entrepreneurial side. For those that are looking to have a little bit of a balanced life, can you share with us one of your favorite activities that you do in your spare time?
I do a lot.
Or a few. You don't have to limit it to one.
Well, we go boating in the summer, and I like the beach. I haven't been on a vacation in 5 years, and I'm going on vacation Friday. So goodbye world for a couple of weeks. I'm going west, way out west, where it's sun and fun, and I love music. I play a little guitar, a little piano. I suck at both, but I try. And I meditate, and I try to maintain a balance. You have to cut work off it, and you have to do some self healing and self mindfulness to deal with the stress. It's very stressful. There's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows. So you have to find a balance. And I try to do that. I'm a foodie too, and sometimes when I'm really stressed, I'll just go in and start cooking and making some, I don't know, imaginative meals.
I love it. Well, Sue, thank you so much for joining us today for TechCo, The Leading Edge. You are phenomenal. You know I love you.
I'm humbly optimistic, Tammy, and thank you for your continued support and TechCo's support. And I would not be here today without the help of TechCo. So you guys know who you are. I'm not going to mention names, but thank you all so much.
Thanks, Tammy, for conducting this interview. And Sue, thank you for sharing your story with Citybiz.